Good morning, and being Sunday, as all will hopefully begin to understand now, I'd like to take the opportunity to just talk about PTSD and the fact that it isn't just affect those you would expect it to affect. And today's story is about Penny. That's not a real name, I've changed the name as I was asked to. Met Penny after I did the Mike Naylor show. I was a guest on the Mike Naylor show on Three Counties Radio about 3 months ago. And she contacted me and asked, is it possible that she could have PTSD whilst not witnessing events? And my own feelings are yes. And she was in a rather emotional state. So we had a cup of coffee, had a cup of coffee. And she originally told me that the reason she's so stressed is that her father had thrown himself in front of a train, and she hadn't witnessed the events, but it was still traumatized by it. And there seemed to be something missing in the story. It's bad enough her father obviously takes his own life. She then proceeded to tell me that her father actually had been released from prison after being convicted of being a paedophile. And the event afterwards led him to throw himself onto a train. And I said to her, have you not had any counselling? And she said, oh no, the counsellors can't help me. I find it too painful. And she let slip that one of the children at the time, and this is a woman now in her mid-30s, had been her best friend. So she not only was she carrying the guilt of her father being a paedophile, one of her best friends had been a victim, and she was finding it increasingly difficult to cope with all these memories suddenly coming back. Well, we finished a coffee and I managed to put her in the direction of a counsellor that I know who's a lovely, lovely man. And from a conversation I had with Penny a week or so ago, she tells me she's actually responding to the treatment and she's beginning to understand what had happened was not anything to do with her. It was to do with her late father, and that it's okay to still love him because he didn't hurt her. And hopefully she's now beginning to see her life as a better place to live. My fear was that she was in such a bad state that she was going to do something dreadful to herself. As I said, keep saying, PTSD doesn't just affect those who have an accident, who recover from cancer. It affects those around us, those who witness not in the flesh, but just by thought. So just bear that in mind when you see people, when you meet people. If they look troubled, talk to them. Have a cup of coffee with them. Have a cup of tea. See if you can help them find a way forward. Thank you.